2000, run it back.
Self-encounter show. Self-encounter show. Self-encounter show. We go on and on and on. Come and vibe and chill as we grow. Come and vibe and chill as we grow. Come and vibe and chill as we grow. As we grow. Self-encounter show, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm real hyper today. I feel like I'm on cloud 9. That's how hype I am. So I may be a little loud. But on the bright side, we're gonna give this another try. So here's to episode 2 of me trying to do this again. Like I said, the first one was just me testing it out, just getting back on the mic, trying to get comfortable with everything. So this time around, I'm gonna get right. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get right for real now. So today, I don't know if this is a Friday that you're listening to me, or it could be a Saturday. So I'm not even gonna say happy Friday. What I'm gonna say is I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a good start to your morning, But on today's topic, we're going to talk about counseling, and we're going to break this stigma. So that's why I wanted to call it Counseling Stigma Day. So the reason I decided to do this topic was because at one point, I too was a part of the stigma. Let me tell you something. I was definitely against counseling because I used to just tell people, what's the point of paying someone to listen to me talk about my problems when it's still going to be there after I leave the session. That's really how I used to think. But it took me having to go through things in life, and as well as to get older, for my mind to change. And now I'm all for it. Please go to counseling. There's a lot of y'all that needs to go, and I'm here to tell you, please go. This is your sign. And don't beat me up, because I know how y'all like to rumble. But listen, we can rumble and tussle a little bit now, not too much, because you won't stress me out. But again, counseling is definitely there. So that's why we're talking about getting some help to heal, to grow. There's so many reasons you can go. I can't even just pick one. Because like I said, to become better, you got to go through things and you got to feel it. That's our problem. We don't like to feel. I know, because I'm one of them. I don't like to feel now. Told y'all I was going to be authentic. I'm not finna get up in here and lie to you. I do not like to feel. I be keeping my little feelings bottled up. Because who won't see me crying? But like I said, that I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. Because, yes, we going to keep growing. We going to keep glowing. And we going to just make it work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But anywho, back to what I was supposed to be saying. Because I wrote some stuff down. So, I'm going to read it off to y'all. But what I didn't realize was that counseling is way more. Oh, I already said that. Y'all, when I say these few episodes, you gonna have to work with me, because I'm still trying to get a feel. I don't know if I want to read the stuff, not even the podcast. Get me. I'm so hyper. I'm all over the place, child. I feel like my mouth is moving faster than my brain right now. But we gonna keep on rolling. Hello. Let me see. Where was I? Anywho, what I wrote down was, we don't realize counseling is way more than someone listening to us talk. But it's more so about having that person that allows us to be vulnerable and express whatever it is that's on our mind, while we come up with ways to cope and manage the situation better than, before. Because, again, we may think we know how to handle something, but, honey, please give it up. I'm talking to myself right now, because a lot of time I be thinking that I can handle it. And then I go talk to somebody, like one of my friends or my mom, or just, somebody close to me. Because I'm not finna go talk to everybody. You got to keep that circle tight, But anywho, because I'll be thinking one thing. And then when I talk to them, they'll give me a different perspective. And I'll be like, oh my God, I did not think about it like that. So yeah, that's why I said therapy is good. Because sometimes you just need that second opinion. And I'm trying to calm down. But like I said, I had an energy drink. And it has me on cloud 27. So I'm up at the top. And y'all probably at the bottom. But we is hyped today. And I'm sorry. I shouldn't have drank that energy drink. So I'm doing the best I can right now. And I think I said this. But I want to be authentic this time around. I don't want to be out here trying to sound perfect. Because perfect don't exist. I don't believe in that. I used to. Not no more, tell you that. Not no more. Okay, yeah. Anyways, back to script. So it's a lot more that we can gain from counseling, but I figured I'd just mention one of the main things and let y'all research the rest because, just like in school, when the teacher used to say, whenever you ask for help, I'll help you, but I'm not going to do all the work for you now. Yeah, make me work now. Work for that education. Because a lot of times I wanted her to give me the answers, but she didn't want to give me the answers. And I'm all over the place, but y'all just mind me. Like I said, I had that energy drink, so I got like 50 different stories going on at once right now. Yeah, so the next episode it'll get better. Like I said, you gotta work with me. You got to stay down till you come up. Hello, long as we trying, and I'm trying to come back, which I do. I'm glad I did though, because I am having fun. Like just talking, and I don't gotta worry about nobody telling me to be quiet or shut up or that I'm talking too much. If I want to tell 2 stories at the same time, I can do that, and nobody be looking at me crazy. Like, yes. So the next episode may be a little different. Like I said, we figuring it out as we go. Each episode, I feel like it's something else, something else different. And right now, I'm off topic, so let me get back on. Oh yeah, here I was. So I was doing some research, and I came across this article on Psychology Today by Robert C. And it stated how people avoid going to counseling in fear of looking weak, fear of change, family resistance towards it, the cost of therapy, and because it's time consuming. Also because it's hard work. Some even like to say their friends are their therapists. And after reading that, the word fear is what stood out the most to me. And caring about others' opinions as well as their views as it relates to counseling. All right, I'm getting off topic again because I too feel a victim to that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want nobody to think nothing of me if I went to counseling. But now I'm more mature and I understand that counseling ain't for nobody but yourself. In order for you to be better, you got to put in the work. You got to touch those tough subjects. That's how you're going to grow. You got to be in tune. You got to lock in. You got to face those fears that you keep trying to hide and suppress. We got to let it out one way or another and one day at a time. I just wanted to elaborate more on fear or whatever because it is a very dangerous word. And what I mean is fear will prevent us from doing so much. So when I hear the word fear, I think of a box because that's exactly what it does. Place us in this box, cage that we're too afraid to get out of. So again, I say fear will cause you to miss out on the life you dreamed of and deserved, all because we're too frightened to go after the life we want. Like Zig Ziglar, I think that's how you say his name. But like he said, fear has 2 meanings. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Oh, I like that one. I gotta put that as my caption. Stop playing with me now. Stop playing with me. I like that one. Let me say it again. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. I had to give a moment of silence so y'all could hear what I let what I say relate. Is it relate? I think the word, no, I don't think the word is relate. But you know what I mean? Oh, resonate. Hello. I'm telling you. Some relate. No, it's really resonate. That's what I was trying to say. Oh my goodness. No more energy drink for me. I can't do this. But anyways, so I'm asking you guys, do you want to continue placing a limitation on yourself or go after your dreams and create a better life? Because the choice is yours. Let me say that again. The choice is yours. They said the sky is the limit, but I'm here to tell you the sky is not the limit. Anything you put your mind to, you can make it happen. You can do anything that you want to do, but you got to get over your fears and know that it will be hard work too, because a lot of y'all think it's supposed to come easy. I know. Some things I be thinking is supposed to come easy, then I got to call my mom. Ma, why is it like this? I need you to come help me. Make it better. And she be like, nope. You got to go through it. You got to get through it. What it say? No, it say you got to go through it to get through it. So, yeah. And as for caring what others think, we live in a society where that's common. But you know what? It's okay to be different and to do something that's beneficial to you. Because at the end of the day, you have to live for you. And you got to live in your truth. Because you're responsible for you and your well-beings. A quick sidebar. So before I upload these episodes, I like to play it back just to edit any dead air or anything crazy, but not too much because, like I said, I like to keep it authentic. And it's just funny hearing like some of them words I could not pronounce. Like I think I'm calming down some, so it's not as bad. But like listening to some of the things I was saying, I'm over here smiling like I'm real life geek. Cause why would I get up on here talking like that? You know what I'm saying? Making a fool of myself. But again, it was the energy drink. I feel like I don't mind my dog, y'all, but I was talking a mile a minute, and I gotta slow down. That's why I said like going forward, I'm not drinking no more energy drinks because you would have thought I could not speak for a second, sounding all like tongue twisted and everything. But to wrap it up, I did ask a special guest, and I would have said her name, but she's actually going to tell you herself who she is, where she's from, and a little bit about herself. I asked her 5 different questions regarding this topic, so we're just going to listen to what she said and, any advice she had to give before we close out and prepare for next week.
Hey, I'm Maya, and I'm a counselor. I am from Greenville, South Carolina, but I live here in Myrtle Beach, unfortunately. I graduated from Coastal, which I guess is why I'm still down here. I graduated with a degree in psychology and one in sociology with a criminology concentration. And then I got bored, so I went back to school and I got my master's in clinical mental counseling, and I graduated last year in August.
Now that you know who she is and some info about her, let me go ahead and read off the first question I asked, and that was, in your opinion, what's the purpose of having a counselor?
I feel like the purpose of having a counselor, therapist, whatever you want to call us, is to help you figure life out. Like so much stuff happens to us while we're going through life, and it's just like, how am I supposed to deal with this? And yeah, like you can talk to your friends, you can get advice from your friends, but like, is it what you need? And we go to school for it. So there's some things in the way that you process life that aren't the best behaviors to have and adapt, and it's just kind of having somebody to check behind you. It's like a check and balance. Yeah, it's like a check and balance.
Check and balance. See, I told you. When you talk to different people, you just get different perspectives, and yeah. So now I know. It's like she said, check and balance. Which leads me to my next question, which was, what usually prevents someone from getting counseling?
Short and sweet, I think it's probably the stigma around mental health and the fear of judgment. Because with the stigmas, it's like, oh, well, you must be crazy if you gotta go to counseling or something like that, And it's always the, oh, well, I don't want such and such to know I'm going to counseling, or, oh, I found out such and such is going to counseling. Okay, Ann, people have problems. People want to get better. People want to fix themselves. People want to be happy and healthy and go on about their life. And if going to therapy helps them with that, then so what? And the people that are probably talking about them probably need to be in therapy too. But that's one thing that you can look at. Like, hey, I'm doing what I need to do to fix myself to become a better person. So I feel like if people kind of like let go of the stigma of it, I think another reason why some people don't is because there aren't many counselors in certain areas that look like us. So that's something that kind of hinders people sometimes, because I feel like people be like, oh, well, I'm not going to go talk to this man about my problems because he wouldn't understand, or he doesn't know what I'm going through, or she wouldn't get it. But the thing is, they might. Or if they don't understand, they can let you know that they don't understand. Like, there's just so much that you can learn from therapy, like if you go and actually put forth the work and the effort. And it's like, at the end of the day, why does it matter? what other people would say, as long as you're bettering yourself, you know? And I think another thing is people think that if they come to therapy, they're paying for a friend. And that's not it, because I constantly let my clients know that I am not their friend. Like, I can be the coolest person they talk to, I can relate to them, but we are not friends. Like, that's not what you're coming here for. Like, you're coming to do work to better yourself. So that's another one, I think. And then, of course, with religion, a lot of times people feel like, oh, if I, just pray and do this and everything's okay. And it's like, you can be religious and go to counseling. Like, it's okay. There are even some people who incorporate religion into their counseling. So those are some of the things I can think of, like, just right off top.
And there you have it. I said it. Maya said it, So I feel like there's some good encouragement to just take a leap and go for it. Give it a try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to step out and do something different. Why not? Be different. But anywho, so my next question for her was, what are the different types of counseling methods? Because I didn't really know much about, well, I knew about counseling, but I only knew about the traditional counseling. But now there's so many different counseling methods that they have. So I just wanted her to kind of elaborate so we'll have an idea of what to expect or what you can get. And not just what you can expect, but, your options of what you could sign up for. Yeah.
The different types of therapy. Of course, the traditional talk therapy that you can do either in person, and now because of COVID, there's a lot of people who also include telemental health. The different types of therapy, though, there's expressive arts, there's hypnosis, there's Reiki, there's sand tray therapy, there's exposure therapy. There's so many, like, there are just so many. I always encourage, like, students or clients, anybody, to do research, like, if talk therapy isn't something that works for you, try something else. Try expressive arts, try sand tray therapy, try role playing. There's so many different types, and it's like, you don't have to stick with just one if you don't feel like it's working. Like, you can, of course, try many different methods. So I say do your research, but the most traditional, of course, is talk therapy. But there are tons of kinds. Like, I've done sand tray therapy. That was really cool. Just kind of like how the different pieces can represent different things. And just kind of like exploring that. So that was really cool for me when I did it.
All these different options. So that lets me know right now that there should be no excuses because there's so many different types of counseling that you can get. Whichever works best for you and your situation or circumstances, then you do what you gotta do. But moving on to my next question, which was, what should you look for when choosing a good counselor?
When choosing a counselor, I like to tell people it's like any other relationship, it's trial and error. So don't get hung up if, like, the first time you go, like, you don't mesh. Okay, cool. Try again. Don't give up on it. But some things I would recommend looking for is comfortability. I feel like the only way that you'll really get good work done and you'll actually be able to process things is if you're comfortable with the person that you're working with. And then I know a lot of times it makes people feel better if they do look like you or have some type of, if there's some way that you can identify with them in some way, excuse me. But that's not always the case. Me, prime example. I always thought that when I went to therapy, I was like, I'm gonna get a black woman because she's gonna be able to understand me and she's gonna know where I'm coming from. And my therapist right now is an older white man. And I love him to pieces. Like at first, I really did not think that me and him were gonna mesh because he high key missed my first appointment, so we had to reschedule. And I was already like, man, like now I'm on the fence about this. But once we finally met, I mean, it was just a great connection, a great vibe. I felt comfortable. And in the back of my mind, I was like, how am I so comfortable telling this white man my business? You know what I'm saying? Like, he would never understand where I'm coming from, blah, blah. But I gave it a chance. And like I said, I love it. Like, I don't think right now I would want another therapist or a counselor. Like, he my man's, you know? And I feel like if I'm that comfortable with him, then I'm more open to listening to what he has to say or taking his suggestions and doing his homework. Like, I'm fine with it because I'm comfortable with doing this and I know that at this point you have my best interest at heart and that's all I need. So, I mean, like keep an open mind is what I always suggest. Because like you never know. Because like I said, I mean this man's the complete opposite of me. That is not what I wanted at all. But we get great work done and I love that for myself.
And there you have it. The proof is in the pudding. Get with it or get lost. I'm hoping you don't get lost. Just get with it, But if you get lost, well, you can always come back. Dust yourself off and try again. But the last question was, what advice could you provide to help someone seek counseling before becoming overwhelmed?
What advice I could give? I would honestly say, you know yourself better than anybody. So if there's ever times where you feel off, you don't know why, you're doing more than what you normally do or you're doing less, you aren't enjoying things you normally do, you're not getting rest, things like that. Or even if people tell you that like you've been off, they don't know what's going on, tons of signs. Go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody. It may be like a simple, easy fix, or it might be a deep rooted issue. Like, you never know. But you won't know unless you go and talk to somebody. A lot of times, I know people like to come to counseling after something major has happened, or they realize I'm not acting like myself, or I'm not as happy as I was. Those are ways to identify that, hey, I might need to talk to somebody to see what's really going on. Because if you have those questions or have those thoughts about yourself and you can't figure out why, I feel like when you notice something in yourself and you can't figure out what's the reason or what's the cause of this, then that's a pretty good indicator that you should probably go talk to somebody.
And there you have it, folks. That is all for this episode on our Counseling Stigma Day. I hope we made a difference in your life and in the way you think, as well as showing you something different. Like I said, I didn't realize there was that many different counseling types. But, like I said, each episode, I keep saying like I said. Anyways, each episode, my goal is to help change the way you think or just to make you smile or motivate you and encourage you. So I'm hoping that I'm doing just that. I want to thank Maya for her input and giving us a different way of thinking. I want to thank myself because, it's big niche, my way or the hot. It's like, no, I'm kidding. I just want to thank myself for pushing and not giving up, because I could have said that first episode, I was going to put it out there and been like, no, I'm not going to come back. But here I am. I'm going to keep on trying. I'm not perfect again, like I said, but Each episode is going to continue to get better, be better. And I hope that you guys have a good weekend and week, next week. Yeah, all that. So, oh, and two, I'm sorry for like the voice change. I started off high because I was hyped, but I am coming down now from that caffeine. So my voice is a little more mellow, more calm. So thank y'all for rocking out with me and dealing with me today. Because, yeah, I know you probably like, dang, what's wrong with this fool? Like, 1 minute you over here hyped and yelling. Next minute you calm, about to put me to sleep, because I'm finna put myself to sleep just listening to me talk right now. But yeah, I'm out. Get your mind right and get your vibe right, because everything that we do, we gon' do it just right. It's the self-encounter show that you tuned into. So everything that we do, you know that we cool and cool. Got the vibes going, got the love flowing.